Hello and welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Jessica McDonald. I am a knitting pattern designer and this is my knitting podcast. And this episode is going to be really rushed because I have to drive across the state like 4 hours to the other side of the state today because my sister has a baby shower tomorrow and I want to show off before I go. I want to show off what I made for her baby shower. I finished this yesterday. And I laid it out on top of my heater vent that's right down there, on top of my cooling rack for, cookies and things, and it dried pretty much instantly, but I'd like to tell you all about this sweet little thing. So, my sister's having a baby girl, and I really like baby dresses. You're probably going to hear my kids downstairs, by the way. Anyway, I really like dresses for little girls. When I had my girls, I wasn't as good of a knitter as I am now, nor as much of a prolific knitter as I am now. So I made them a few dresses, but not a ton. But now that, I'm not having babies anymore, now I can just easily whip up little baby dresses like this when I don't have a baby to put in them. But this will go on my knees. So I designed this about a month ago. No, more about 6 weeks ago. But I didn't realize that time was flying by until this week when I realized that, oh hey, February is basically gone already. So I had to very quickly knit this. And yeah, so a little bit last minute, but I did the design part in enough time, in a reasonable amount of time. So maybe I can get some credit there, but life has just been crazy for us lately. So here's the little dress. It doesn't have any name. I am going to release the pattern, but it does not currently have a name. I am thinking about knitting up another sample of it. But here it is. So it's top down, knit in the round, seamlessly in the round. It has this really cute colorwork yoke. And then you have a garter stitch waistband. And then you increase really rapidly right here, right underneath the waistband to create this little gathered skirt. And then you have more color work down here on the hem, then a garter stitch hem, and then the sleeves are just plain. And I've switched the color on the sleeve cuff so that it matches the hem. I didn't put any color work on the sleeves because it's hard enough to put sleeves on babies. I don't want it to be constricting because, color work, like the fabric where you have color work is less stretchy than just plain stockinette, and you'll have the floats in there. The easiest way I've found is you start the baby's hand in, and then you stick your own fingers up the sleeve, like way up there, and kind of pinch their little hand and draw it through. So I like to have the cuffs really stretchy. It is really stretchy. I'm feeling a little bit disjointed. Hang on a second, let me catch my breath. I'm feeling a little bit stressed and rushed since I do actually have to rush out the door and go drive across the state and do a bunch of errands when I'm over there to get ready for the shower. So we start at the top. You have all these lovely little motifs up here. Oh, it's kind of blurry. And you come down, and the hem, I love the hem. The hem is my absolute favorite part. I was thinking when I was writing up the pattern, I was like, maybe that will be too much. Maybe I should just leave the skirt plain, but I'm really glad I did it because it's my favorite part of the whole dress. This hem section, this color work right here is the absolute favorite part of the dress. This middle bit with the pink and the blue, this bit here is the same as this bit here in the yoke, so it's kind of mirrored. And then I wanted to draw out the dark purple color that's in here a little bit more, so I did the dark purple on the hem, which matches the dark purple on the sleeve cuffs. In retrospect, I thought that perhaps I should have done the purple for the neckline, but then I thought maybe that would look funky, plus also the waistline is just in the main color. I promise you they're fine. So it's probably good that the neckline matches the waistline and then the cuffs and the hem match each other. Anyway. The trimmings are all garter stitch because when you're coming down to a hem on a dress, you don't want it to suck in. So if I did ribbing down here, it probably wouldn't lay as nice. So that's why we've got garter stitch on all of the edges. instead of ribbing. Plus I think it looks really cute, really squishy and fantastic. When I had just cast off the hem, the garter stitch hem wanted to flip up really bad, but blocking solved that problem. Let me go back a little bit here and tell you about the yarn. So this is knit in Rerum Natura Ulysse, which is a sport weight woolen spun merino yarn, and it is in the colors, so the main color is caramel. Then we have a lot of contrast colors. There's 5 colors in this total. So caramel is the main color. Then this one is, it's either Amarante or Amarantine. I'm sorting through all of my, that's the blue, that's the main color. Amarante. You probably cannot read that. Yep, no, you still can't read that. There we go. Or maybe it's backwards on screen. I don't know. So the dark purple is Amarante. I'm going to pronounce everything wrong. The blue is Ciel. The pink is Argile. The white is Bouleau. I actually use this white for a whopping 2 rounds up here in the yoke. So you can see it's the center color for the pink, and there's also a row of it around in here. So I'm thinking about possibly eliminating that and then swapping out this white that's in this section with the pink and the white that's in this section with the blue. Thinking about possibly doing that. I really like how it looks here, but it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to tell you to buy a skein of white to only use it for 2 rounds. Like if you have it on hand, because I just had it on hand, it's left over from when I was doing all the woodland, ramble, and forest patterns. But if you don't just have this on hand, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for me to tell you to buy a whole skein of it just for 2 rounds. So I'm kind of thinking of you when I'm thinking of taking that out and just swapping it around to something so that you don't have to buy as much yarn. Because yeah, it's only in there twice. The whole thing uses Shetland knitting. Oh, that's the back that I'm showing you. The whole thing uses Shetland knitting motifs, so you only ever use 2 colors in a round. Even though you're moving through a bunch of different colors, and there are 5 colors total in the sweater, you only ever knit with 2 colors at once. You just swap out the contrast color and background colors as you go through. So yeah, I'm not sure what else to say about it. This is Rerum Natura Ulysse, which I used because it's very soft and it's very lightweight. It's very warm, but it's not so heavy that you can't wear it most of the time. It's a very comfortable weight to wear, especially for a baby. It's not going to be really bulky, but it's still going to be really nice and cozy. It also has a really nice finished fabric. It's a little bit drapey, but it still has a nice woolly feel to it, and it's perfectly soft. I mean, just absolutely perfectly soft. I've been wearing my sweaters that I knit out of Ulysse quite a bit, and it's just fantastic fabric. Honestly, if you've never knit with this yarn, you should go get some because it's amazing. Let's see, what else? What else shall I tell you about it? Oh, there are no closures at the neckline. You start at the neckline and knit your way down. There are no buttons, there are no closures, there are nothing. I have very, very strong feelings about buttons at the neckline for babies. If you put a button at the back, then they're always laying on it and it's uncomfortable. If you put the button in the front, then they're gonna get hit in their mouth and it's a choking hazard. If you put it on the shoulder, then it gets in the way of car seat straps. I prefer just absolutely nothing on the necklines of babies. I've made a lot of baby patterns, so I know it works, okay? I've also dressed a lot of babies in knitwear, so I feel like I have a lot of experience and I can speak from a place of authority on this, although I know that there are a lot of people who feel very, very strongly that you have to have buttons or an opening of some kind at the neckline. So there might be some of you sitting there going like, oh, that's terrible. But this is a very stretchy neckline. You can even see the whole thing. See that? It stretches really big. The reason for that, and it comes back nicely too, it doesn't just stay all blown out. The reason it's so stretchy is you start with a German twisted cast on, which is a really stretchy cast on, and then you use garter stitch for the neckband, and garter stitch is also extremely stretchy. So this will be easily able to get over a baby's giant head. It will come back nicely and not stay all, you know, like blown out and stretched out. And you don't have any uncomfortable buttons. You don't have any openings that you have to fiddle with. It's a lot easier to make. You don't have to sew buttons on. I hate sewing buttons on. It's like my least favorite thing. Like this cardigan, I have no buttons on it. I hate sewing on buttons. That's why I have so many just open front cardigans with no buttons. It's because I hate sewing on buttons. I also really don't like buttons on baby things. I'm just kind of in the anti-button camp over here. So yeah, this neckline will fit nicely over a baby's head. It will fit nicely around their neck. You won't have any trouble putting it on and off, but there's no buttons to mess with. There's no buttons to choke on. There's no buttons to be uncomfortable. There's no fussy opening to have to deal with while you're knitting. It's just all around, I think this is best. I think this is best. So this is a bit more colorful than I usually make. My sister hates gray. Like, I just have a basket of yarn sitting here. Like, this is some leftover gray from when I was making Woodland Ramble, but this is also Ulysse. If I was making this for myself, I would have probably used this color, or maybe a slightly lighter shade, or maybe like an oatmeal color. But my sister hates these, and she was like, absolutely no gray, absolutely no gray. And she also said no brown. I'm a little bit nervous about using caramel as the background color. I was very confident about my choice until yesterday when I blocked it, and I was like, I don't know if she's gonna like this, because to me, it doesn't look like a true brown. Like, it's a rusty, nutmeggy color. Nutmeggy, does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. But I wanted something that would be really warm and earthy with some bright colors and rich colors in the color work. My sister really likes rich colors, particularly like berry tones and autumnal hues. So I was trying to cater to her color preferences as I did this. Also, she hates pink. Like, I think that's just something in my family, is we just don't really like pink. Me and all of my sisters, we're not very girly people, and we don't really like pink. I did consider getting the lightest shade of pink that Ulysse comes in to use as the main color, but it was sold out, so that was kind of a decision-making, you know, thing. I can't use it if it's gone. But I wanted something that felt really warm and earthy and rich, and I felt like the caramel would be a nice background color for all of my bright color work while still being really warm. So I really hope she likes it, because I made it like with my sister in mind. Honestly, if I was designing this for myself, it would have been a lot more muted and understated. So perhaps this was a good exercise, getting me a little bit out of my boring comfort zone. I know you guys, if you're here, you like my knitting, you don't think it's boring, but I do tend to be a little bit more understated and pared back. I don't tend to be really exuberant and energetic with my designing, so this kind of got me out of that, and I really like the result. It's really cute. The only people who have seen this in real life are my husband, my father-in-law, and my children, and they all loved it. They all thought it was really cute and looked really awesome. My father-in-law is just a grumpy old man, and he's actually one of my biggest cheerleaders. Like, he's just always asking me, what are you knitting? What are you making? Oh, what's this for? It looks so good. And he's just really supportive and loves everything I do. So he really liked it. My husband really likes it. The kids really like it, although my eldest daughter is somewhat convinced that the baby might be a boy, even though, like, my sister knows it's a girl. She's told us all. My daughter's like, what if it's a boy? I don't know what to tell you, sweetheart. So here is this little baby dress that currently has no name. I am going to release the pattern I don't have it quite finished. I don't have any of my yardages calculated. I might knit another sample with gray as the background color, eliminating the 2 rounds of white just to see how I like it. But yeah, this is the 12-month size because the baby's being born this spring and she won't need anything cozy into winter. So I thought 12 months. It should fit her all of next winter, and she can just put on a pair of tights or some leggings underneath it and she'll be super cozy and warm and comfortable. I need to make some matching socks to go with it, but I really didn't have time, so I'll just do those over the summer and I'll knit some matching socks, and then she'll look super cute, or maybe some booties. But yeah, I really love dresses for little girls. I mean, they just look so cute and they're so comfortable and they're so cozy. I just love them. I just absolutely love them. I will put babies in knitwear every single day. Not superwash yarn, but I have very strong feelings about that. I'll put my yarn advice for babies blog post link in the description box down below so you can go read all about my feelings about superwash yarn and babies. But yeah, so there it is. Oh, isn't it cute? Like, just look at it. Oh, I love it so much. It's adorable. I hope my sister loves it too. I'm gifting it to her tomorrow. But you won't see this until later because this will just sit on my camera card until next week when I come back. So there it is. I really love this section right here. I love it. It's beautiful. So there's the baby gift that I knit at the last minute. And now I'm going to sign off and I'm going to go jump in my car and drive for several hours. So anyway, thank you for coming and watching this short single item episode. By the way, the sweater I'm wearing is called Wild Horse. The pattern is on Ravelry on my website if you would like to go buy it. If you want to know when this baby dress comes out, which will probably be sometime late spring, early summer, given the amount of time it will take to get it there, sign up for my newsletter. There will be a link in the description box down below, so that will be the best place to be if you want to know when this comes out. Isn't it cute? Oh, I love it. Just seeing it on screen is like, oh, I really like it. It's adorable. Oh, I really love this, just this blue through this section. I love so much. Okay, I have to drive a long ways, so I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. Please sign up for my newsletter, like and subscribe this video if you would like to see more of my knits. And I better remember to take my camera along, all of my baby shower game stuff, and I've gotta go. Thank you so much and happy knitting. Bye.